So, real quick, if I had like 4 over s squared times, I don't care, I would have like, so you could argue that that's quadratic. So you could say like there's an as plus b over s squared. But you see how you can reduce it. So this would be a over s plus b over s squared. Okay, good. See? So if I have something that's got more than one term, I can't do that to it, and that's why that top has to be as plus b. Right? If there's an s squared plus 4 piece like we just had, then I can't do that step because there's more than one term on the bottom. There's a lot of little things about the partial that you can look at that makes sense out of. That's one little tiny thing.
So if it was just s squared, it would just be like
Yeah, a over s plus b over s squared. Because s squared can be looked at as either quadratic or a repeated linear s. And both ways come out to be this. Well, what was the other thing I was going to say? I think one of the problems, like 4, 5, 6, one of those.
Wait, so you do need as plus b for just an s squared?
No, hell no.
You just need...
Because if you did put as plus b over s squared, it would just become this anyway.
Okay, so you just need as.
No, you need a over s
Oh, that's it.
plus b over s squared. Yeah.
You could see it that way if it makes it easier.
So, I mean, if I had something over s to the 5th times other stuff, I'm going to have a over s plus b over s squared plus c over s cubed plus d over s fourth plus e over s 5. I've got to have as many. Yeah. So what would really suck is if I had something s cubed minus 4s plus 8 to the 5th power. Then I need as squared plus bs plus c over one of these plus ds squared plus over the other over 2 of these.
Because the other
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
costs.
So you know I'm going to put one of those on. No. That's pure busy work, right? That's when the teacher's like, shut up, do this problem. I'm going to sit here and take it out.
Like gray papers.
Yeah. You know, I just roll dice. Okay. So where else do you want to focus on?
Just a question, please. What is different between the way you write like the question number 6 with number 8?
I don't know, to be honest. I think I had 6 as something different, and then I changed it, which part of that was losing the minus on the 20. So you do have to use the translation theorem there for the TE to the T. Same thing. But I think I just switched whatever number 6 used to be. I changed it. And that's when I lost the thing didn't factor anymore. I'm not going to necessarily tell you, use the first translation theorem. You just have to notice that that's happening. And that's, of course, when I have some function t times e to the something t, yeah.
So for the test, the chapter 7 only goes up for the first half of 7:30.
Chapter 7 goes, 7, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3. And you're right, the first half of 3, because the second half of 7, 3 was translations on the t-axis, which we didn't cover. 7, 4 is interesting, but 7, 4 actually looks at the derivatives of the Laplace transform itself. So, yeah, I mean, the Laplace transform is based on integration, so you can take the derivative of an integral using one of the f-talks, right, the fundamental theorems of calculus. Anyway, so we didn't talk about 7, 4. So 7, 1, 7, 2, and the first part of 7, 3, it does not include heavy side function stuff, translation on the t-axis. Yeah, although the heavy side stuff is interesting, like I told you, I didn't learn until much later that was actually somebody's name. Because the heaviside function is the way you turn something on and off. Right? So you don't need a piecewise function, then you just multiply a part by a heaviside function defined on a certain interval, so it just turns it on at a certain time. You can turn something else off. So you can have them both on, turn one of them off, turn the other one on. Yeah, it's kind of to be honest, it's just a notational way to accomplish the same thing, but it's kind of nifty. Yeah.
say you were gonna give us like a table for the Laplace? Or no?
No.
Or not?
So on the quiz, you had to know your Laplace transforms. So same thing on the test. That makes sense. It'd be really weird for me to be nicer on the test than I was on the quiz. I was thinking about, let me run this by you. I might as well. I was thinking about having copies of the table. And if you want to, you can come up and grab a piece of it. But then I was either thinking, I'm not going to take points away from you, but if you don't take a copy, maybe I'll give you some bonus points. What do you guys think about it? So if you're like, I don't want to freak out about knowing this shit, let me just take it. Now understand, if I do that, the problems might be a little more than basic then, because then you're going to have the freaking tables to look at. I mean, right?
How about just for
We're good.
7.3?
Was that?
Just for 7.3.
For the, but that's, if you know the Laplace transforms, you have to know the shift, right? It's just adding that little extra e to the something, right? Okay. So, I mean, if there's something you really, really forgot, you can always come up and ask me, and I'll tell you if you're close or, right? Because sometimes you just feel uncomfortable about it, but you actually got it right. So you can always just come up and ask me. I'll either tell you, yeah, you're close, or I'm not going to tell you, or whatever.
Well, take the
Worst
walk,
you can say is no, right?
take
Right.
the walk of shame back to your
You
table.
might as well ask. I'm not going to be all loud about it. I'm not going to tell you that. I've had people get upset at me that I didn't help them on the test, and I'm like, what? You're a teacher, man. You're supposed to help. I had somebody actually say something like that to me once, and I was like, I don't know what to
Did he
do for you.
pass? Did he or she pass?
Huh?
Did he or she pass?
My chemistry teacher encourages us to ask questions on the test.
Oh, really?
During the test?
Yeah, because I asked her a couple questions. And I was like, she's like, oh, you did really well on your test. I was like, oh, thanks. I appreciate the help that you gave me.
Oh, it's
She's like,
hilarious.
Oh, you're supposed to ask questions. I was like, what? I could have been doing
But
this
she'll tell
all,
you.
like, all semester.
She'll tell you things that you're supposed to know. She'll just tell it. Tell you.
I mean, like, she'll give you like hints.
Okay. All right.
Well, my chemistry class,
She won't like sit there and do it for you, but
you can ask for help on a test, but you lose a point, so that's a drawback.
Could be huge though. It's like one step in the first part of a 20-step problem. You're like, I'll take a point off to get the rest of the damn thing done. Yeah. Of course, I had one of my teachers. I don't know if I told you. They would put brand new information on the test, explain it, and then have questions about it because he thought the test was a part of the learning experiences. There's something called zero divisors. If you're interested in matrices stuff, have you ever heard of zero divisors? Yeah, so they're non-zero matrices that when you multiply, you get zero solution. So it's a whole study of like these what's called zero divisors. It's neat.
did you like have a gnarly curve on his tests or?
Yeah.
He better.
Well, like, when you get to grad school and you got the teachers saying after the test, they're like, oh yeah, I just put number 5 on there just to see what you guys would do with it. And we're like, go insane?
Was it a final or just a test?
One of my
That's just a regular test.
Because like, if it's a final, I never see that teacher again. I was like, I will hate that professor. So you put
Oh,
that
I
in the
see.
final. and
Well,
then-
no, I look back fondly on those guys now. I'm like, that was
Not
kind
the
of
time.
cool. Right, because I love that. It's like you're in that mode. Let's push you a little bit. But that's when I first saw with the Dirac delta function, which I pointed out was a good one to look at. That's the first time we ever saw it was in the middle of a test. I was like, okay, here's what it looks like. Now try it, and you know. So I ended up not counting anything. That's why I tell students, if you think you'd made a complete problem, like you messed number 3 up entirely, don't let it affect what you do in the next couple. Because maybe it's a typo in there that I made, or maybe everybody screws that problem up and I count it less. You know, I always hate people. I don't hate people, but I hate when people make a mistake and then I can just tell, bless you, I can tell that it affected the way they were thinking for the rest of the test. I'm like, don't let that happen. You know, you don't want to just let that snowball and lose points everywhere.
confidence.
Yeah.
For problems like number 9, do you want us to solve them like we do in chapter 8 or like we do in like a...
Yeah, that specifically is going to be 4-9. So it's
4-9. So will it specify if, or is 8?
the system of equation problem, there will be one. You solve it like 4-9 because 4-9 didn't get on the last test, so it's just kind of sitting on this test now. So there would be a bonus question possibly, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to put a problem on the final. I'm not even going to put a bonus about 8 on this. So there won't be
So
anything
eight's
about
not-
8 on this next test. You guys with me? So don't try to do any 8 stuff, even if you love it. Even if you feel like that's the best stuff I've ever seen. That'll be on the final. I ain't got nothing left. You guys, it's up to you. You're all looking at me expectantly. I'm like,
It's like it's the don't know what you don't know thing.
I understand. I didn't even know to ask that question because I didn't know that.
I will
Exactly.
know
Yeah.
what I don't know on the other test.
Just
Not
pretend
not
like
right
the
now.
test is over, like one of my teachers told us, because that's when you know everything, is when the test is over. So like, thanks for that.
This one that's handed in.
So for like questions like number 9, oftentimes when I was doing the homework, finishing the last problems with the homework, I'd get like answers that look different than the answer key, but just like in minus and plus signs. As long as I show the
So,
relationship between the two.
If I solve for x first and then get y based on that,
Yeah.
the relationship between my coefficients will be inverted. So there was a problem with, it was like radical 2 C1 sine or something. But if you solve for the other one, it would be 1 over radical 2 times
Yeah.
C1 sine. Because the relationship between the coefficients has to be a specific thing. Which means that whichever one you call 1, the other one is going to be based off of that.
That's
So
what-
it really is just which one do you solve for first is going to change that. So I have to kind of know ahead of time both
Yeah, that's what I was
ways, you know, so I know just in case somebody solves for one or the other one.
banging my head against the wall. Some of the solutions for the homework. I
Oh,
was
shit.
like, they're not working.
Not literally, right? I'm sorry. This kind of class, you could really make a dent on the wall and your
On
head.
your wall.
And your head. Yeah, both. It's kind of like, this is where I would recorded my height, and this is where I would bang my head. Put your mark on the house.
See the progression.
Times it. Oh wow, we did pretty good.
Because math gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
The temp is bigger.
First, it's just measurements.
All right, so I'll probably be in the office again at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. If you want to come over there early.
I think the answer key for 3C, I don't think it's 1 over 24, right?
Could be right. I was doing that real quick.
And this is T over 5.
5 factorial, so 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's got to be a 24.